going to be led by Year 6. I'm going to hand over to Oscar, who is our first speaker. Oscar is a stand-in today, aren't you? You were really, really hoping you would speak, and he has stepped in for somebody else, so he has not practiced at all. So let's show him who we are. Ready? Super sitting, and the rest of the assembly will be led by Year 6.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to our House Heroes Assembly. We are incredibly excited to see you all together in the hall this morning. Last year, the junior leadership team asked if pupils could start earning house points during the school week, not just in PE lessons. What an excellent idea, thought the teachers. So last time, JLT discussed relaunching the house system and decided we need a fresh start. House points will soon be earned in class, for example, for handing in your home learning or helping to look after our school. House captains will be introduced in Year 6, so that all children have the opportunity to volunteer when they reach your final year in the community primary school.
House captains will be in charge of tallying house points and announcing the totals in Newington Winners' Assemblies.
Mr. Moore is very excited to introduce a House Heroes trophy. There will be coloured ribbons tied to the cup, and house captains will change the winning colours every Friday.
There are many teachers leading subjects in our school who are excited to look at how we can earn house points across the curriculum. For example, JLT thought a science day where we work in house teams was an excellent idea.
Every week, PE lessons will be a fabulous chance to earn house points. Of course, Sports Day is one of our highlights of the year, and we will all be grouped in our houses for each activity.
Last time, Mrs. Morris and Mrs. Smith helped JLT to write their own class assembly. They went back to their class, presented their ideas, and asked their classes to choose inspirational people to them. In Key Stage 1, teachers had the same discussion with their classes. Mr. Moore helped look at the results, and there were some incredible heroes chosen. Across Key Stage 1 and 2, there were 4 clear winners.
So, the time has come to announce our house heroes. Our red house hero will be, drumroll please, Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong was a famous American astronaut. He was the first man to walk on the moon.
He was just 16 years old when he got his first pilot's license. That's just 5 years older than some of our Year 6 pupils. By the time Neil Armstrong had left university, he had flown over 200 different aircraft.
Neil Armstrong worked very hard to achieve his dreams and was part of a team of astronauts, including Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins, who flew in the Apollo 11 spacecraft. It was launched from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida in 1969. Neil Armstrong stepped off Apollo 11 onto the ground. He famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." This successful mission opened a new era of space exploration.
Our blue house hero will be, drumroll please, Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart is famous for being the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean.
Amelia Earhart was born in 1897, and as a child she loved to spend time outdoors. Her parents encouraged her to take part in games and hobbies, such as football and fishing. This was unusual at the time because these hobbies were mostly done by boys.
Amelia Earhart was inspired to become a pilot by watching air shows or going on short rides with a pilot. At this time, pilots were mostly male. She broke many records and showed women that it was possible to follow their dreams.
Our yellow house hero will be, drumroll please, Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks famously played an important part in the American civil rights movement. Rosa Parks was also voted for by nearly every class in our school.
When Rosa Parks was growing up, black people were not allowed to use many of the same public places as white people. This was called segregation, and black and white people were separated in schools and restaurants, on transport and even in toilets. It was very difficult for black people to vote, and many white people treated them very badly. 1955, Rosa Parks was sitting on the bus on the way home from work. She was sitting in the section segregated for black people. But if the section for white people was full, black people had to move so they could have a seat. On this day, the white section was full and Rosa Parks was told to move, but she did not. Even when the bus driver told her he would call the police, Rosa stayed seated. Eventually, she was arrested, charged, found guilty for breaking the law and had to pay a fine.
What Rosa Parks did on that day started a big movement. 40,000 black people, and some white people too, refused to use the buses until they were treated fairly. This was called the bus boycott and lasted 381 days.
Why did the government take action on buses and no longer segregated all because of Rosa Parks?
Our greenhouse hero will be drum roll, please. Sir David Attenborough. Sir David Attenborough is a famous British wildlife presenter and scientist.
Sir David Attenborough has made popular TV shows about animals for 60 years. He is passionate about our planet and teaches people how to look after it. Sir David Attenborough cares about climate change, global warming, recycling and protecting endangered animals.
He is loved by millions around the world for helping to bring wildlife into people's homes and classrooms. You can watch his shows on BBC iPlayer and Netflix. You will certainly be inspired to see the world and look after our planet.
This is a really exciting time at NCPS, and we hope you are inspired by the information you've heard today. Soon you will receive a letter to take home telling you all about our house heroes and which house you will be in. Thank you for listening so beautifully to our assembly today.
It's an exciting time. I can tell by all of the reactions, especially in this corner down here, that you are very excited by who has been chosen. And all of you have been a part of this process, for voting, for thinking about who is inspirational to you, and it's a really exciting time for us for the rest of this year and ready for September. The next step will be for all of you to receive a letter from me to your parents to tell you which house you will be in. Okay?